Welcome back to Chris Dunn TV, where we're talking about how to build wealth, live well, and give back. And in this episode, guys, we're talking about something that's really important: how Wall Street has been screwing you and how you can invest like a professional hedge fund. Now, I'm a huge proponent of self-education and taking control of your financial future. And part of that is not being a sheep. In the markets, you have two types of people. You have sheep that follow the herd and they get slaughtered, and then you have lions that hunt for their meal and win. Now, unfortunately, Wall Street has been screwing the general public for many, many years now, and they've been doing it systematically, not on accident. And there's a few reasons why. There's a few ways that they're doing this, and I'm going to show you. Just to give you a taste of this, looking at this article from a few years ago now, this was a really important article that came out that showed that Goldman lost money on only 1 day of trading in a quarter. Imagine that, guys. As a trader or as an investor, you lose money, you make money. It's very, very rare that an individual trader loses money only 1 day out of 3 months of trading. How does that happen? Well, it's not blind luck. It's what's called an unfair advantage. And that's what hedge funds and big Wall Street firms have been doing for many, many years now. They've been screwing over the little guy. So you probably saw my interview with my friend James Altucher a few weeks ago. And James is the former hedge fund manager that has made over $10 million on several different occasions now. So he's a proven entrepreneur. He's a proven, Wall Street guy. And now he's kind of blowing the doors off of the Wall Street business and trying to help the little guy, which is what I do. At Daily Trading Profits, my goal is to help individual traders compete with the big institutional firms and learn how to develop skills and confidence so you can trade for income or grow your capital or whatever your goal is. But when it comes to long-term investing, I'm not that good at it. I rely on guys like James who really know their stuff, who know the kind of behind the curtain, who see the Wizard of Oz, right? Who know how Wall Street really works for the long-term game. And I'll show you this. James actually just recently started publishing a few PDFs where he talks about, the greatest hedge fund heist. He basically talks about how Wall Street is screwing individual investors. The first is fees. It talks about how, if you have a hedge fund, if you invest in a hedge fund or a mutual fund, a lot of these guys just make billions and billions of dollars just off of fees. And that doesn't matter if they're profitable or not. If you invest in a mutual fund or a hedge fund or with a money manager, they're going to charge you a fee. Doesn't matter if they lose money, make money, outperform the market, underperform the market, they're going to get their share. And another huge thing, and I'm going to show you where you can actually get these reports here in a second. But, aside from like intentional scamming like Madoff and the Ponzi schemes that are out there, one that I've been talking about since 2008 is high-frequency trading, where you have these firms that essentially front-run individual traders and they scalp for fractions of a penny and basically rip you off. As a trader or an investor, you're getting ripped off by these high-frequency algorithms. And, there's about a half a dozen or a dozen ways that these hedge funds are basically putting the odds in their favor in an unfair advantage. Now, one thing that James also came out with is this report here where he talks about how the world's greatest investors find the greatest investments. He talks about Buffett. He talks about, Peter Thiel down here, the co-founder of PayPal. And one thing that James is kind of famous for, I'll show you his little profile here. In 2008, so right after the financial crisis really started to hit, James came out with a portfolio that he called his forever portfolio, basically stocks that he said, just buy and hold. And recently, those stocks are up 191% compared to the Dow Jones, which is up 80%. So over the past 5 years, James has actually outperformed the market and Warren Buffett by 22%. That's really impressive. So what's his secret? Well, a couple of things that he does, and something that he's really well known for, is he knows everybody on Wall Street. He knows a lot of the hedge fund managers, a lot of the guys that are behind the scenes running these big firms. And what he does, because he has kind of special access to this, is he filters the top 1% of the investments that his, what he calls super connectors make, people that are running hedge funds, angel investors, and CEOs, and he filters them down and then basically has a thesis for an investment. And he likes to invest in what he calls remora companies, basically small companies that are used by larger companies and at some point in the future are likely to get bought out or acquired by much larger companies. So one thing that I'm a big fan of is the idea of focusing on your strengths and then forgetting about everything else. So my strength is shorter term investing, shorter term trading, shorter term real estate investing. I'm not good at picking stocks and holding for the long run. I rely on guys like James who really know their stuff and have an unfair advantage, which is, in his case, his connections on Wall Street and his thesis, his investment thesis that served him well over time. So I very rarely, if ever, recommend somebody else's investment or trading product or service because, to be quite frank, 99% of the information and the services that are out there are complete garbage. But James is the real deal. As you guys saw in my interview, and if you haven't seen that yet, go back and watch it. It's pure gold. One thing that James is famous for is making and losing tens of millions of dollars multiple times and being able to prove over and over again that he has what it takes to survive the test of time and to really pick stocks and create a portfolio that makes money over time, which that's something I'm just not good at. So what I would recommend is go check out this video that James just put out where he actually walks you down Wall Street and he stands next to the current World Trade Center and he talks about how he was in or next to the World Trade Center on 9/11. It's a really heartfelt message, and he explains the strategy that he uses to ride the coattails of a lot of the best investors in the world. So just go to chooseyourselfguide.com/invest, and I'll link it up here in the video, and go watch this video, guys. Again, I don't recommend many things, but this video and these PDFs that James put out are amazing. They're just pure gold. So again, self-educate. Take control of your finances, but you don't have to do it all yourself. You don't have to rely on a mutual fund manager. By the way, mutual funds are a negative sum game, which means you are going to consistently underperform the market. Trading, to some degree, is a zero-sum game. The stock market certainly isn't a zero-sum game because you have new capital coming into the markets, but that's a discussion for another video. But when it comes to investing, guys, just do what you're best at and outsource everything else. So what I like to do, like I said, I want to lean on guys like James that really know their stuff, that have proven track records, and that have an unfair advantage, which for him is his connections and his investment thesis. So go check that video out. I'll link it up below. Like up the video, guys. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. Share this with your friends. Let me know if you have any questions, and I will talk to you soon. Take care.